Now, welcome to another episode of Let's Roll Out. Today, we are going to be diving beneath the skin to learn of all the technology that BMW has incorporated into the 5 Series. We're going to be checking out the aerodynamics, the cruise control, the intelligent lighting system. I will then get into my tech gear because, of course, I want to get underneath the hood of this thing, just to educate you a little bit on this car, and hopefully we'll take you for a drive as well. Thanks for joining us today on Let's Roll Out. This vehicle has a drag coefficient of 0.22, and it's the lowest in its class. Now, BMW is able to attain this a few ways. In the front, BMW have an active grille. When the engine is warm, the grills will open like it is right now. When it has cooled down enough, the grille will close, allowing air to flow over the vehicle. At the lower part of the grille, here we have a small channel that is meant to channel air around the front wheels. You see, with the rotation, it creates turbulence. The air that's flowing over the wheels helps to reduce that and reduce drag as well. This 540 is equipped with BMW's active LED lighting system. Now, the system works in conjunction with a camera that is mounted on the windscreen. What it does, it detects oncoming traffic or if you are following closely behind someone. It independently separates the high beams to give comfort for approaching vehicle while still give you great visibility in your commute. If you are following after someone, the same principle applies. It will separate that light around the vehicle you're following, allowing them not to have that glare in their mirrors. It's a smart system that works really well. Now, right below the license plate lays the BMW's radar cruise system. Once you've initiated the cruise control, it automatically adjusts the distance of the car it follows. Now, if you should set your speed to 120 and the person in front is doing 110, it will automatically adjust the speed to keep that safe distance. In an instance where that person may brake and come to a complete stop, the system will automatically brake for you and bring you to a stop. In stop and go traffic, it's very good. It allows you to have that ease and relaxation in your drive. It will also get back up to speed once traffic starts to move once again. So we've learned about how BMW reduces its drag. We've learned about the intelligent LED light system and the radar cruise control. So it's now time for us to really get below the skin of the BMW 540i. Now, to open the hood is simply pull on the latch twice to release that you're able to now come and open the hood. The older system, you would pull the latch and then there is another safety that's built into the front. So they've gotten rid of that. Now you simply just open the hood, and there you are. You have all your different fill points for your coolant and your windshield washers up at the top. But today we're going to be addressing some things on the engine. Now, before you're able to get under it by removing a few screws, now BMW has just put a few clips. So you're able to simply just pull up on that and that will open the engine up for you. It's quite simple. We'll put that off to the side. Now, what that does is allowing us to see the internals of the engine. It is a 6-cylinder engine and it comes with 6 coils, each individual coil and each cylinder. Below that, you have your spark plugs. Now, we'll get a little bit deeper. BMW is able to achieve its great fuel efficiency through what's known as variable valve timing. Some may call it VANOS or variable valve timing. What that does, it's able to infinitely adjust the valves and how much they open and close to increase fuel efficiency. Now let's go a little bit deeper, shall we? Now, how does variable valve timing works? Now, if you know of the older engines, the Mopar engines and things like that, where they get a tremendous amount of power, they're able to advance the timing in a motor that at higher speeds you get greater opening of the valves. More opening of the valves means more air into the engine. More air into the engine means more power. Now, BMW has been able to infinitely have that adjustment to go where it opens the valves small or large depending upon the demand. So the harder you press on the gas, the more opening you need for the valves. The Vanos system will then, through its computers, will adjust the timing of the cams where the cams will rotate, pushing the valves farther down into the engine, allowing for more air to be rammed into the engine. More air, bigger explosion means more power. So this is how the variable valve timing works in order to get you the kind of power that you need. Now, I want to take a moment to get to the brakes of this car. There are things that are working under the skin of this car that many may not even know about. So we'll take a chance to jack this car up and just to see what's happening underneath there. So now we'll take a chance to look at the brakes on this car. It is humongous. It's so big. Now compared to the older models, it'd be nice to see that, right? Now I just so happen to have one of the older ones right there. We have an E60 that we can compare some of the brakes. Now, let's look at this. We've removed the bolts already just to make things a little bit faster. Lay that on the ground. Now, one of the things that draws your attention right away, look at the amount of surface area that this brakes has to make contact with. Now, this car comes with 4 piston calipers at the front. So, along with that amount of space, let me explain some of the things that is taking place with this brakes. Have you ever gone down the road, you're driving, and all of a sudden there's an emergency situation where you had to brake, and you release your foot really quickly off of the gas in order to get to the brakes. So you realize the car really grabbed that brakes really quickly. Let me explain to you what's taking place. On the insides, there are sensors for your accelerator. It senses how much you're pressing on them and how much you're releasing. Now, BMW has set it up really smart. The way the technology works is that if it senses that you release the gas pedal really quickly, it automatically assumes that there is an emergency braking situation that comes up. What that does, it moves the brake pads closer to the rotor, which then shortens the time and cuts the braking distance. So this is where you would find that you have that immediate braking, and it happens so strong and so quickly. Now, with the huge surface area on the brakes, along with your contact points for your wheels, it allows you to have that short braking distance. Now, another thing that takes place, and again, it's all about the technology that is beneath the skin. BMW does not hit you in the face with all the gadgets, but what is working underneath to keep you safe, and just you smile when you walk away from them. I can tell you that. It's been 19 years for me, and it still happens to this day. In a rainy driving situation, there are sensors on this vehicle that will sense that there's rain. Of course, there's sensors for your wipers. All of these technology are integrated together. How it works is, once it senses water, the calipers will automatically move closer to the rotors. What it does, it helps to keep those rotors dry, that if you should need to have braking at any point, it is there, ready, primed, and ready to use to give you the kind of stopping power that you need. I'll draw a reference. Have you ever come out of a car wash and try to hit the brakes and see what happens? Your car will slide and slide because it has water on the brakes. So just another way of how BMW technology is working beneath the skin to keep you safe. So we've taken the time to educate you about the importance of variable valve timing and how it works. Now, the best place for you to see that is in acceleration. Today, we are going to be testing that 4.8 seconds from 0 to 100K. Of course, now we're going to be switching it to Sports Plus mode. That gives us maximum power. That also tells the transmission that we want to hold the gears. We want to have a spirited drive to 100. Open road ahead of us, and hey, let's see what variable valve timing does for the performance of this car. Hold the brakes on the gas a little bit. Release. And there we are. And just that quickly. Whew. Now, the one thing that is very apparent immediately, as I release on the gas back onto the brakes, it is so sharp. Now, just like I've explained before, because it senses that there is an emergency situation by how fast I release the gas. Now, the brakes are primed, and it gives you full force to bring this 4,019-pound vehicle back to a stop. Now, there's something else in this vehicle that makes it so much of a joy to drive. It gives you the best of both worlds, and that is the adaptive dampers. What adaptive dampers have done is to give you the chance to have the relaxation when you want, and that vehicle that is so composed, that is so tight in the corners, to give you that nimble feel and reaction. Best of both worlds. Now, if you are considering that of a Mercedes or a Lexus, yes, they're known to drive really soft and quiet. Please do not count BMW out. They are that good, and they have the ability to address your need in terms of a vehicle that is quiet, extremely comfortable, soft, and when you need it, the sportiness to boot. The variable valve timing also gives this vehicle a chance to breathe and to give you the best fuel efficiency. And when we talk about fuel efficiency, you're looking at 8.1 liters for every 100K on the highway and 10 in the city. So you've got 335 horsepower and 332 foot-pounds of torque. So you've got the power, the efficiency, the comfort, the quietness, the absolute relaxation that adaptive dampers will give to you, and all the technology you could want for safety, for pleasure, and for relaxation. The BMW 540i has you covered in every way, shape, and form. Now, if you've enjoyed the show, guys, I do ask that you give us a thumbs up. And something more than ever that we value is your interaction. We ask that you leave us your comments, share your experiences with us. Tell us how we're doing. Tell us what we've done good and what we can do better. Criticize us. Feel free to do so. I love it. And I make it my duty to reply to every comment that is left on the show. I love interacting with you guys. So thank you for the time that you've spent with me today, and I hope to see you again in our next show.